Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a FIFA 24 or FC24 experiment. This is my first ever video on FC24, so make sure to like and subscribe. Yeah, and then in this experiment I've put the top 6 Premier League teams and put them in League 2. And I haven't changed the teams, like their squad or anything, their transfer budget. They're all the same. Just, go all the way up to Premier League again, or will they start to struggle since they're, not getting as much money because they're in the lower leagues. I added some players, some teams to replace them in the Premier League, and those teams are Accrington Stanley, AFC Wimbledon, Barrow, Bradford City, and where are the other ones? So there is, Walsall, and then there's also Wrexham. So we'll see how those teams do as well. I have a feeling they're just gonna go straight back down. Actually, I'll just sim a little bit longer so then we can see the Champions League, how that happened. So sorry, that's my brother. Let's look at League 2. And Arsenal have won the league with 109 points. That's got to be the record of League 2. And then after it's Spurs, so both the North London teams have been promoted. Also Chelsea, Liverpool in 4th, Man City and Man United in 5th and 6th. So the Manchester team's not so good. North London teams did very good. Liverpool did alright. Chelsea did decent, getting promoted. Yeah, so top 6 were miles better than everyone else. FA Cup, who's gonna win? And it's Fulham versus Wolves. So Arsenal and Liverpool got knocked out in round 6, and no other Big 6 team was in the semifinals or finals. And if we look at the Carabao Cup, it is West Ham that beat Man City in the final. Wow. Man City didn't even get promoted from League 2, but somehow they made it to the final of the Carabao Cup. I guess they probably prioritized the cup over the league. I think the League 2 teams will be in it though. Well, let's see. No. Newcastle obviously is in it. No, I think they just replaced it with like random European teams. Okay, whatever. Europa League, let's see who's in that. Newcastle in the Europa League final. Interesting. Against Marseille. We'll see who wins that. And then Conference League, it's Aston Villa versus Gent. So it looks like the Premier League teams that are still in the Premier League are doing quite well in Europe. So Europa League, Marseille does beat Newcastle in the final, so there goes Newcastle. And Gent beat Villa, so both Newcastle and Aston Villa got knocked out in the finals. That's frustrating for those teams. But let's look at the Premier League, who won. And it was Newcastle on 80 points. Nottingham Forest with 80 points as well. Very close to winning the league, just out from goal differential. Then it was West Ham, Brighton, and those 4 are going to be in the Champions League. Let's look at Wrexham. Actually survived. It was all the bottom 6 teams were at the bottom, but Wrexham, out of all of them, Wrexham was the best with 35 points, only 6 points behind Luton Town. Alright, let's sim to the second season. This is the table of League 2, and Liverpool and United both make it, so all the Premier League teams are officially out of League 2. And they beat Fulham, so I think that's the first trophy, the first silverware a Big 6 team has gotten since they've been relegated to League 2. That's okay. Let's just see, and as you can see from the news, Atletico Madrid have won the Champions League. and we'll see if any English teams did well. So Brighton, 4th place, not good for them. West Ham actually made it in that group, and Newcastle went undefeated in their group. That's really good. Nottingham Forest, they went down to Europa League. Newcastle lost to Club Brugge 5-4 in pens, and West Ham lost to Barcelona. So that's how all the English teams got eliminated there. Europa League, and Sevilla won the Europa League. Fulham made it to the final. That's interesting. Wow. Yeah, that's really surprising. Fulham made it to the final of the Europa League. Interesting. Without Mitrovic. Aston Villa topped their group there, and preliminary round, Nottingham Forest beat Salzburg. Round of 16, Fulham beat Marseille. Aston Villa lost to Napoli, and Nottingham Forest lost to Fenerbahce. Quarterfinals, Fulham beat Monaco. Semifinals, Fulham beat Dortmund. Then they lost, obviously. But that was a very good run from Fulham. Trabzonspor beat Bournemouth, so many English teams have made it to the final of European competitions, but they just bottle it at the end. Bournemouth topped their group, which is pretty crazy.